Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video game design video tutorial. Today we're going to be reviewing briefly what we talked about last time and then talking about expectations for today's assignment. So this week we've been working on different aspects of our video game. First was the character and last time it was the environment. Today we're going to be focusing on now the items and power-ups for your video game. A pixel is the smallest controllable element on a computer screen. Basically, the more pixels you have, the higher the resolution. These pixels are represented as different boxes. So we're going to be creating our character essentially through a series of different colored boxes and how they're arranged together. So you do have control over how many pixels in your artwork, but I would heavily recommend you follow these guidelines here. Try not to go over the max because that's going to be way too detailed for your work. Today's focus are on the items and power-ups. Remember, you need two total of these. It can be one item and one power-up, or it can be two items, or it can be two power-ups. It's completely up to you. I start by creating two different circles to suggest a container, and then use a pen tool or the line segment tool to create some clean, crisp lines that can make the appearance of the top of the neck or the opening of the container. As you're working, remember, if you make a mistake, don't try to fix it. Just hit Control-Z, which is the undo button. It's a lot more cleaner to do it that way. Next, I'm going to be adding my color. Again, I'm double-clicking my bottom left color swatch here, finding the color that I want, and moving that dot around so I get the exact color that I want. You can very easily adjust that. Now what I'm doing is trying to find that really nice transparent color. I've moved my color swatch to the top left where there's a lot of white. That creates a very bright tint of blue. Again, a tint is when you add white to a color. A shade is when you add black to a color, and therefore going the opposite direction is going to make it a lot darker. So that's kind of what I've done with this orange. I've made a shade of that orange, make it look slightly darker. And then I've used this center tool to move all of my information to the center of the screen so I can really use that symmetrical tool efficiently. Otherwise, it'll throw everything off when I'm trying to make everything look as equal and balanced as possible. So then I'm changing, again, my orange to a slightly lighter color. So I'm moving that kind of towards more of that pure color just to give a nice gradation of color. Again, we're trying to make our objects look as realistic as possible. Again, I know it's very pixelated, which means it's basic, but that doesn't mean everything has to look flat. If you add a little bit of highlights or contour lines around the edge of just a slightly different blue or orange, whatever color you have, it makes it look just that much better. So here's my example of my second item or power up. I'm going to be using the line segment tool to create nice, clean, crisp lines. If I try to use the pencil tool, the pen tool to do this, it'd be a lot more difficult. These straight line tools really allow you to create nice geometric shapes quickly and easily. So now what I'm going to do is spend some time filling in the rest of my object here. I'm going to find a brown by finding like an orange and sliding it over to the middle of the swatch. I'm filling in the blade color, and now I'm trying to find like a metallic color for the handle. Now, again, I'm playing with those other highlights to add volume and depth so my pixelated image doesn't look super flat, and just a slightly different color with a little bit of a contour line for shine or other things really goes a long way. Once you're done with your items and power-ups, please complete the daily participation form, taking a screenshot of your image and uploading it to the form. The next videos that we'll be rolling out are going to be focusing on how to animate the things that you just created. So animating the character, the environment, and the items and the power-ups. But that does it for today's video. As always, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to email me or pop in for office hours daily, 1 to 2 p.m. Work hard, do your best quality work, and have fun.